Hi, okay, I'm a newbie here, so I did some research because I want to do my first sublimation on glitter. So as I started to look into that, I realized there's a lot more steps than I thought, but I had learned some tips, but I also want to know if there's any other tips that might be helpful. So I picked an image that was pretty easy, had square edges all around. It's a rectangle, so I didn't have to have any kind of intricate cuts. And I let my Cricut Maker cut it out so that it should be pretty perfect. But even still, you can see there's a little bit, it's not exactly perfect. So then I looked at my shirt, which I thought was cotton, and it has polyester in it. So it has 40% polyester. So that told me that if I do the regular method where I put the glitter vinyl down and I put the sublimation paper over it, that if I'm off a little, my edge of my shirt can possibly have some sublimation transfer. So a couple tips that I learned from watching like YouTube. Someone took heat transfer tape and it's a long strip, and they went right across and they framed the whole picture. So now that'll only work if it's straight edges, but they framed the whole thing so that way if it's off a little when you put this, it won't transfer onto your shirt. But the other thing I learned, what kind of blew my mind, which I'm going to try and hopefully it works out well, is that you can take a Teflon sheet and you can put your glitter vinyl adhesive side down on the Teflon sheet, and then your sublimation paper, and put that on top. And then once you do that, you sublimate. You still put over your butcher paper on top, but not on the bottom, because butcher paper will stick to this. So you put that on top, and then once you remove this after it's done, your sublimation will be on your glitter, and once you let it cool, you pull this off of the Teflon and your adhesive will still be intact. So then what that means is if you had any issues where there was a little bit of white on the bottom or the side, then you can trim it up and fix it before you actually adhere it to your shirt. So I think that was pretty good, because my concern was that I was going to transfer something onto the shirt. And then if I ever have anything that's more intricate where there's lines cut, I think that's even going to be harder to line up. So I'll pause this and then show the end result and see how it worked and give any results for me. But if you have any other tips that would help with the process of putting a sublimation on without getting any transfer over to your shirt, let me know. Okay, so I just put the Teflon down and the glitter and my sublimation on top, and I just taped it down directly to the Teflon. And I'll put my butchered paper on top for any blowout, and press it. I'm going to press it for, my machine is about normally 385, and I'm going to do it for about, I think 40 seconds, because I'm a little nervous about the adhesive of the vinyl. So we'll see. Okay, thanks, bye. So I'm gonna pull this off. Kind of looks good, super cute. So this is kind of what I was referring to. See, it has these, like, it's hard to get it perfect. But if this is already stuck on your shirt, then there's nothing you can do about it. So since I have it here, first idea is I can trim this off. If you have a trimmer, or, you know, just go on a straight line. I can clean that edge up a little bit right there, and even on the top a little bit. I don't know if you can see that right here. So reminder, Teflon's really hot when it comes off the heat press, so gloves, or just be careful. It feels a little bit cool, so I'm trying to pull this up. So I see a little adhesive, so I'm gonna hang on a little bit, let it cool down just a little bit more. Hopefully that will help it. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully this works. Do a trick that you do with the just vinyl, just pulling this back, but you see there's a little bit of adhesive here, so that's not good. Well, it comes off, like once it's, I'm kind of scratching it back down onto the vinyl, so it does come off the Teflon, but ideally it'll just come off completely. And some parts are, most parts are, so we'll have to see how it sticks on the shirt. So let me go through the rest of this and see what it looks like. Okay, so I pulled it off. Most of it did come off okay. The beginning part is when it didn't. You can see there's still a little bit of adhesive on here. It scratches away real easy. So it might be that I didn't let it cool enough. If you can see the back of it, that's some of the areas, and some of the other sides is just fine. So you can see the bottom half where I started is where it had some stickiness to the Teflon originally. So it might be that I didn't let it cool. Just needed a few more seconds. But I think overall it's going to stick. We shall see how it holds up. Okay. Okay, there she is. Nice and glittery. Super cute. Love the design. Cute. So yeah, I think that worked. It seems to be sticking fine to the shirt. Even though it seemed like some of the adhesive maybe is stuck to the Teflon when I was pulling it off, but I think it looks good.